I'm not really into horror. Never have been. But to make friends, you have to blend in first. You laugh at the jokes, play their games, ignore the red flags, until you know which ones are real. Looking back, I didn't make the best decision. You might hate me for it, but I did what I could. It started with my friends forcing me to play a game. I had a suspicion they only wanted me there because they liked laughing at how I cried during horror games. But I let it slide. We were in my apartment one weekend. I was supposed to go home alone. They were trying to download a horror game for free, but the link directed us to another site. It looked like a map with hundreds of scattered pins. Each one marked a real suicide location. Click on a pin, and it showed the photo, the victim's lifeless body on the screen. Was that even legal? It doesn't really matter. My friends looked fascinated. I thought it was disturbing, but I kept quiet. Didn't want to be the buzzkill. Not in high school. That's basically social suicide. At the top of the site, in a small gray text, it read, "Please read the rules before usage." But nobody seemed to care. Apparently, you could add your own pins. They started marking random addresses with yellow pins, 5 or 6 addresses, just for curiosity. The ones already there were red. I didn't like it. The red ones felt wrong. Then, one of the 4 friends grinned. "Yo, Alex, look." They zoomed in on my street, my building, and pinned my apartment. I laughed along, even though my stomach twisted. At the end, they left me alone with that game still open in my browser, even though they promised to stay the night. That night, I went back to the site. I wanted to delete the pins, especially mine, but I couldn't. That's when I checked the rules. You may add and move pins. You cannot delete them. So I had no option. The next day, my parents came home, my sister too. She'd snuck out to see her boyfriend while the house was empty. Everything felt normal again, like nothing ever happened. However, that night, I was watching TV with my father when a breaking news report came on. A suicide case of an entire family. The house on the screen looked familiar. Then the address appeared. I remember where I saw it. I stood up quietly, without making a commotion. I walked to my room and opened the site. Only a few yellow pins were left, and I found what I was looking for. My hands shook as I clicked the pins. It was the same address, the same house, and the photos. I checked the other pins that turned red, more suicide photos. Then, right in front of me, another yellow pin turned red. Only one yellow pin remained. Mine. I froze, then clicked it. The image loaded slowly. It was me, sitting at my desk. I turned to the window. The curtain moved, a soft shift like breath. My chest clenched. I rose step by step, as if something unseen was dragging the air behind me. I pulled the curtain open, and there she was, standing just outside the glass, 14 floors up. She smiled softly. "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for peeking, but can you help me? Please, let me in?" I stared at her. How did you climb to the 14th floor? Her face twitched. She lunged at the window. I slammed it shut and locked it. Her smile twisted, stretched unnaturally wide. She began pounding on the glass, screaming, "You have to die, you have to die, you pinned the location, you have to die!" I backed away, and then I remembered. You can't delete the posts. You can't delete the pins. But you can move them. I scrambled to the computer, clicked on the yellow pin on my apartment, and dragged it anywhere, just somewhere else that's not here. The banging stopped. I turned around, and she was smiling peacefully. Then, slowly, she crawled down the building, disappearing. I sat there, breathing hard, shaking as my heart pounded and I almost teared up. I looked back at the monitor to see where I pinned it, and it hovered over an address I didn't recognize. An orphanage. I stared at it, and then I moved it again. To the house of the friend who pinned me. The news showed another case a few days later. Another suicide. Another whole family. I didn't want this to happen to anyone. I didn't mean for anyone else to die. I started digging, looking for more info on the site. Most of it was garbage, but I found one line that stuck out. When a specific address is pinned, all current residents will die. It will be ruled as suicide. This isn't a game. It's murder. Paranormal murder. I can't forgive myself, even if I did it to live, to save my family. And I still go back to the site, just to make sure that no one else ever moves a pin back to me.